It has finally happened, folks. Nintendo just announced a Nintendo Direct airing tomorrow at 2 p.m. PST, featuring roughly 40 minutes of information, mostly focused on Nintendo Switch games launching in the first half of 2023. And today I want to do not my predictions, but my hopes. I've done plenty of predicting on this channel of what I think Nintendo will probably try to release this year, but today I want to talk about what I personally want to see. What would get me excited from this Nintendo Direct? Let's get into it. Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the channel. If you are new here, of course, subscribe so you don't miss any of my Nintendo coverage this coming week. With the Direct happening, I'll be uploading probably once a day, twice a day, who knows, discussing all the new games announced, all that fun stuff, analyzing trailers. That's how we do it here. But like I said, today I want to get into my hopes. I've done a lot of predicting, and some of those predictions may end up lining up with my personal hopes, but most of the stuff I don't think I've actually talked about, and some of it may be a little bit more vague. But without further ado, let's get into this. I have 9 of them. They aren't necessarily in a particular order, except for the last one. Let's just go ahead and get into this. So the first thing I really want to see from this Direct, and this is one of the more vague ones, is literally anything Mario. It has to happen. Now, I've been talking for months now about a 2D Mario game. That feels like something that should be coming soon, right? It's been a long time. That's what I would personally want to see and what I think we will probably most likely see. However, I'm gonna say I'm okay with anything. I'm okay with pretty much any Mario game being announced here. I would lean more towards hoping it's not a sports game. I know a lot of people are saying Mario Baseball, and while that would be cool, get that last sports game on the Switch, not really my style. So if it's not a 2D Mario, and you know, only heaven can know, it's probably not a 3D Mario, which would be even better. If it's not either of those, I would lean more towards like an RPG style game, like a Paper Mario or Mario and Luigi, one of those kind of things. Just something a little bit higher quality than the typical sports games. And I like tennis, by the way. Just something Mario. You know, the only game we've had in the past year was Super Mario Strikers, and that game wasn't very good. Or Mario Strikers Charged, whatever the hell, like a Battle League. So something Mario, that's my first hope, I would say, for this Direct, is just something that gets me excited to be a Mario gamer, as they call us. The second thing here is an absolute pipe dream. I don't really think this is going to happen, but at least not right now, but maybe. Rhythm Heaven. I want a new Rhythm Heaven game. People always say this. If you watch Nintendo predictions and hopes, people are always saying Rhythm Heaven, and I haven't really talked about it because I frankly don't really see it happening anytime soon, but I would like to be very pleasantly surprised. I don't know what they can do differently. I don't really care. Maybe some weird, I don't know, with the Joy-Con. They can do something weird with it, probably. But keep it simple. Keep it just, honestly, just put Mega Mix on Switch. I don't really care what you do. I just want a new Rhythm Heaven that I can play on my newest Nintendo console, and I'll be good. Obviously, if there's new stuff in there, that's great, but just some sort of way to play Rhythm Heaven on a modern Nintendo piece of hardware. These next two I'm kind of lumping together, though I did list them as separate predictions here. There are 2 companies that I feel like we are way overdue to see something from that work very closely with Nintendo. They're not Nintendo developers, but they usually work with Nintendo. The first of them is Grezzo. I want to see whatever they're working on, whatever they're cooking up here. Typically, they do remake work for Nintendo. They did Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and then they did Luigi's Mansion. They also did most of the work on Triforce Heroes back in 2015. They made Ever Oasis, which was their own IP they created for the 3DS in 2017. I want to see something from them. Of course, they also most recently did Link's Awakening and Miitopia. But I want to see something like them, like I said. And this might go into something I have later on the list. I do hope it's a new game, though. If it's a port of a 3DS game, I hope it's actually Ever Oasis, just because I want to play that game, but I'd prefer if it came to Switch. I think it'd have a, second lease on life if it came to Switch, but something from them. The second developer, that is more, once again, kind of vague, is Goodfeel. Goodfeel are the creators of Epic Yarn and Crafted World and Yoshi's Woolly World. Something from them. Now, I know they opened a new studio and they're self-publishing their own IP. Good for them, but they still have that main studio, I believe in Tokyo, that is most likely working on a game with Nintendo. Now, there have been rumors of a 2D Donkey Kong game coming from the 3D Mario team, EPD, and while that might be exciting, I've been saying for years now that if anybody's going to continue that 2D Donkey Kong style of game, I would love a Crafted Woolly kind of style for Donkey Kong Country. I think that is the best place for it at this point. You know, they've done enough Kirby, they've done enough Yoshi. I think Donkey Kong good feel game would be very cool. It might not be hard, which I know people look for in the Donkey Kong Country games, but a good feel developed Donkey Kong Country I think would be awesome. Do something new with the art style, make it look super cute, and I think that'd be a perfect fit. This next thing was rumored based on Bandai Namco job listings and I think trademarks, but I'm including it here because I want to see this now. Baten Kaitos is a series I'm very unfamiliar with. However, I did just order both games on eBay about 2 weeks ago. They still haven't come yet. I don't know what they're taking so long shipping that thing. But Baten Kaitos is a series I'm completely out of my depth with. I love Xenoblade. I love Monolith Soft, but I've only really played Xenoblade. I always heard about Baten Kaitos as this GameCube game that Monolith Soft made with Namco, but I just never played it or really looked into it. I've watched some videos and it looks like it's right up my alley. It's like this turn-based RPG with card-based combat, incredible music from what I've heard, really cool character designs. If this isn't announced here, I'm definitely going to play it on GameCube, but if they announce an easier way for me to play this on my Switch, I'd be completely okay with that. Anything from Monolith Soft at this point is at a day one in my book. You know, I have complete faith in them. Whether or not they're doing the remaster of Bandai Namco doesn't really matter. I believe that it will be handled with the love and care it needs. I know, I can't remember the person's name that kind of spearheaded this at Monolith back in the day. I know that he was saying he wants to revisit this franchise in the future, so maybe he was kind of alluding to a remaster of sorts. So while this one I think may be a little bit more likely than the others because it was kind of leaked or rumored, I'm still going to put it on my list because it is something that has been on my mind ever since that leak. I've really been thinking about this. I really want to dig into a long-ass Monolith Soft JRPG. Next up is one that might end up being the same as my number 3, which was the Grezzo game. I want to see a new Tomodachi Life. Now, Grezzo, if you don't know, like I mentioned earlier, they remade Miitopia for the Switch in 2021. Tomodachi Life is just a better game across the board, and I love Miitopia, but Tomodachi Life is a better game. I want a new Tomodachi Life. If we get a remake of it from Grezzo using the new Mii Maker functions and all that they put in Miitopia, I'll accept that. I will be very happy with that. But I would prefer if there are two separate things. Grezzo new game, Tomodachi Life 3. I guess it'd be the third one because there was one on DS, right? New Tomodachi Life. That is what I want to see. I think it's time, regardless, for something in like the Mii franchise, I guess, if you want to call it. And I think the timing is right. I think this is a perfect, the direct is focusing on games releasing in the first half. This is something they could announce and release within the first, 6 months. So Tomodachi Life, I would love to see that come back, and I do think it will because the series did pretty well. Miitopia did well on Switch, and these games just do pretty well overall. Alright, 3 left here. So, this one's, once again, a little bit more vague, but I want to see another HD 2D game announced from Square Enix. I love what Square Enix is doing with these HD 2D remakes and new games. I want to see another remake, though. Last year we got Live Alive, and right now we have Dragon Quest 3 announced. So it might just be that we might just finally see more of Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D, and that might be, dated and all that here, but I want to see something different. Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI. I know there's a rumor of Final Fantasy IX being remade. I doubt that would be HD 2D, but something in this HD 2D specter I would like to see for the Switch announced here. And I guess it doesn't necessarily need to be a remake. We have Octopath 2 coming out in February. Typically they announce the next one before the current one comes out, so we're probably going to see something here. Maybe it will just be Dragon Quest, like I said, but something new from Square Enix. They've been a real big proprietor of the Nintendo Direct these past couple years. They pretty much always have an HD 2D game to announce, and I like them being there. It's like comfort food. I don't even play most of them, but I like seeing them, and Live Alive was pretty good. Not my favorite game last year, but I enjoyed it. So another HD 2D remake, whatever it is, something from Square's back catalog, something from, Nintendo's back catalog, whatever it is. I've seen people saying Mario RPG, HD 2D. I don't really know if that would work, but something from them, HD 2D. I love the art style. Let's see it. Okay, 2 left here. This one, it might come as a surprise to most of you if you have not been watching my channel for a while. I did a video on this, I think, last January, and I do still think this might happen. I do want to see it. ARMS 2. So I made this video, what I want to see in ARMS 2 or whatever, back before they announced the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. Now, if you don't know, the Mario Kart team, they're the developers of ARMS. They didn't do anything for 5 years. So you're telling me they've just been working on Mario Kart DLC and Mario Kart Tour this entire time? No, I'm not buying that. So either they're making a new IP or something, or they've just been working 8 years on Mario Kart 9. I doubt that. Or they're making ARMS 2. Min Min got into Smash. There's just a lot of, I don't know. ARMS is something I feel like they're not going to let go. Maybe it's been too long already, but I feel like revisiting ARMS, giving the proper story mode, maybe even completely changing what it is as a video game, I think it could be something. I think ARMS could be something really special. I'm going to do a separate video on this if it's not announced in the Direct, I think. Again, talking about it because I have, more of an audience now. ARMS is a really awesome series. I love the characters. I love the world. We just need to see more of that. So I've talked about how they can make it like a freaking 3D beat 'em up. It doesn't matter. Just something more in this universe. It doesn't need to be, just the same gameplay with new characters. Make a story game. Hell, you can make a game without multiplayer, Just make something more in this universe. That's what I want to see. Give me ARMS, Nintendo. Give me ARMS. That was cringe. That was so cringe. And then the final hope I have for this Nintendo Direct, and this one might be a little bit boring, but I'm still going to put it here. This is what I think will end the Direct, and I do think this is what's going to happen. Although, whether or not it will meet my satisfaction is a little bit to TBA here. I want to see a Tears of the Kingdom trailer that is as good or better than the Breath of the Wild 2017 trailer. That is a high bar. I think that 2017 Breath of the Wild Switch presentation trailer, probably one of the best video game trailers ever made. But I think it's time. We are overdue for Tears of the Kingdom news. We are ready for that blowout trailer that really shows us what this game is. NPCs, new characters, voice acting, all of that stuff. We are overdue. I think also side hope would be that they announce some sort of Treehouse stream or a Zelda Direct for April or March. Something along those lines. I want a really good trailer. Get my heart racing watching this Zelda trailer. We know we're going to get a Zelda trailer. They didn't say it, but we know. I hope it can even come close to reaching the high of that 2017 Breath of the Wild trailer, and that is going to do it. Those are my hopes for this Nintendo Direct happening tomorrow. Once again, come back here, subscribe here for all my reactions and the post-Direct discussions. I'll be covering it all day tomorrow and the coming days after that. And let me know in the comments down below. What do you hope to see from this Nintendo Direct? Not predict. What do you, the individual, want to see from this Nintendo Direct? I just told you all of my main hopes for this Direct, so let me know yours down in the comments below. This has been BoTalks Games. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, if you enjoyed, please subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming Nintendo Direct coverage, and follow me on Twitter at BoTalks Games. Until next time, folks, bye-bye.